Have you ever stood in front of the mirror in that unforgiving morning light and felt that sinking feeling in your chest when you notice that the dark spot on your face isn't just still there, it seems to be growing? You put on an expensive cream, it lightens a little, and then after a day of strong heat, a week of stress, or simply with the passing of time, it comes back darker, bigger, and more stubborn than before. And worst of all is that sense that nothing works, that you've already tried everything, that maybe you're going to stay like this forever. The cosmetics industry makes enormous fortunes selling aggressive acids, pharmacy treatments, and lightening creams that promise miracles, but that, over time, thin out your skin, destroy its natural barrier, and leave your face sensitive, irritated, and defenseless against the sun, the heat, and pollution. It's a vicious cycle. You use the product, it lightens a bit, but your skin is left more vulnerable, and the spot comes back even stronger. So you keep buying, keep spending, and the melasma keeps winning the battle. But a short while ago, a study carried out at Seoul National University in South Korea surprised the entire world of beauty and dermatology. A team of scientists managed to isolate the main compound of rosemary. Yes, that green aromatic little plant that many of us have in a pot in the yard or in the kitchen, and put it in direct contact with the enzyme that produces melasma. The result left the specialists completely stunned. The extract of that plant acted like a true biological switch, blocking the production of the dark pigment from within and lightening the spots that were already established in the skin, without burning, without irritating, without damaging. And what's most striking isn't only the result, but the simplicity of the solution. Anyone can extract that active compound at home with a simple preparation, completely natural, and without spending a fortune. And today, I'm going to teach you exactly how to do it from your own kitchen, step by step, with a recipe that acts directly on the source of the melasma. I'm also going to explain the 5 benefits this preparation has on your skin, one by one, so you understand why it works, and don't just take my word for it, and pay close attention, because benefit number 3 creates an invisible shield against something that is staining your face every single day, even while you're inside your own home, even if you never step out into the sun. Stay until the end, because you're going to learn how to truly lighten your face, caring for your skin, and respecting its nature, not destroying it with aggressive chemicals. And before we continue, tell me in the comments how long you've been dealing with melasma. Is it months? Is it years? I love reading your answers, learning what you've tried, how it went, and what worries you most about your spots. Write to me below. And I read them with great pleasure. Alright, now let's understand what's really happening inside your skin, because when you understand the problem at its root, you start making better decisions. Melasma is not simply a surface spot. It's not sitting on top of your face waiting for a cream to come and erase it. Melasma is activated from within, thanks to an enzyme called tyrosinase. This enzyme is responsible for giving your body the instruction to produce melanin, which is the pigment that gives color to your skin, and for demanding it in excessive amounts in certain areas of your face, especially the cheeks, the forehead, the upper lip, and the chin. When that production spirals out of control, whether from the sun, hormonal changes, pregnancy, stress, or simply age, the spots appear. And this is exactly where rosemary comes in. Rosemary contains a compound called rosmarinic acid. This compound, unlike pharmacy acids that burn, peel, and destroy the surface layers of your skin to force it to renew itself, works in a completely different way. It penetrates gently into the dermis and directly blocks tyrosinase. It sends a signal to your body to stop producing that excess of dark pigment. It doesn't attack, it doesn't destroy, it doesn't irritate. It simply deactivates the mechanism that produces the spot. And it's from that gentle, intelligent, skin-respecting action that the 5 benefits begin to work on your face. The first benefit is sustained lightening from the inside out. When an acidic product lightens a spot, what it does is burn and remove the surface layers of the skin so the spot appears less visible. But the source is still there, active, producing more pigment. That's why the spots come back so quickly as soon as you stop using the product or get a little sun exposure. Rosemary works differently. Because it directly blocks tyrosinase, you're attacking the problem at the root, from where the spot is produced. And since the skin has its own natural renewal process that happens roughly every 28 days, the old cells that were already loaded with dark pigment shed away naturally, and the new cells that reach the surface arrive without that excess melanin. The result is a gradual, progressive, and above all sustained lightening. The brown spot loses strength week by week, fading from the bottom up without your face having to peel or become irritated in the process. The second benefit is deep calm for your inflamed skin. Melasma and inflammation go hand in hand. We often don't see it, but skin with spots is in a constant state of low-grade cellular inflammation, and that inflammation is exactly what makes the spots turn darker with heat, with stress, with the steam of the shower, or even standing in front of the stove. Heat activates melanin. So does inflammation. Rosemary has one of the most potent anti-inflammatory effects known among medicinal plants. When you apply it to your skin, it cools the dermis, reduces cellular inflammation, and breaks that cycle of darkening that happens with temperature changes or on days of heavy stress. Many people who start using this oil first notice that their spots stop darkening before they start to lighten, and that's exactly the sign that the treatment is working. The third benefit is protection inside your own home, and this is what surprises people the most. Most of us know that the sun stains the skin. We've been told our whole lives that we need to wear sunscreen when we go outside, but what very few people know is that there are two sources of damage acting on your face even when you're inside your house. No sun, no intense heat, none of that. The first is blue light. The light emitted by the screen of your phone, your television, and your computer generates free radicals in the skin. Those free radicals stimulate melanin production and gradually create tiny spots that, over the years, accumulate and become visible. The second source is the artificial light bulbs in your own home. LED and fluorescent bulbs also emit low amounts of radiation that affect the skin over time. Rosemary has one of the highest antioxidant loads that exists in nature. Its active compounds neutralize those free radicals before they can do harm. They create a kind of invisible shield over the surface of your skin that intercepts that silent radiation and deactivates it. It's like placing a layer of protection over your face, even inside your home. The fourth benefit goes far beyond simply lightening the spots. In addition to rosmarinic acid, rosemary is extraordinarily rich in another compound called ursolic acid. This acid has a different but equally valuable function. It activates microcirculation in the face. That is, it improves blood flow in the small capillary vessels that nourish your skin, and it stimulates your own cells to produce collagen naturally. And that means that while you're attacking the spots, at the same time your skin is gaining firmness, elasticity, and radiance. Those expression lines around the eyes, the mouth, and on the forehead begin to soften. The oval of the face looks more defined. The texture of the skin improves. You're not only going to lighten the spot, you're going to rejuvenate your face naturally, without needles, without invasive procedures, without side effects. And the fifth benefit is especially important for those of us who live in warm climates, which in Mexico is the vast majority of us. Many of the lightening creams sold in pharmacies and cosmetic stores have greasy bases. That means they clog the pores, leave the face shiny, and with the heat of the day end up mixing uncomfortably with sweat. For skin that tends to be combination or oily, those products become an extra problem because they block the pores and encourage the appearance of pimples and acne. Rosemary has natural astringent properties. Instead of clogging the pores, it cleans them. It removes excess oil from the surface, fights the bacteria that cause breakouts, and leaves the skin with a soft, matte finish from early in the morning. It's ideal for the climate of our country, where the skin needs to breathe and not survive under layers of heavy creams. Alright, now let's go through the complete recipe step by step. Pay close attention because there are a couple of important tricks that make all the difference between an oil that works and one that doesn't. The first thing you need to get is a handful of fresh rosemary. If you have a pot at home, perfect. If not, you can easily find it at the market, at any vegetable stand, or in the fresh herbs section of the supermarket. Make sure it's green, firm, and with a good aroma. Dry or yellowish sprigs have less of the active compound we need. Once you have your rosemary, the first step is fundamental and you can't skip it. Dry the sprigs very well with kitchen paper or a clean napkin. Press gently to absorb any drops of moisture. Not a single drop of water should be left on the little leaves because moisture during the extraction process can ruin the preparation and cause the oil to go rancid within a few days. Once your sprigs are completely dry, the next step is to crush them well. You can do it with your own hands, squeezing and twisting the leaves firmly, or you can use a mortar, molcajet, if you have one at home. What matters is that the leaves end up broken and crushed, because that breaking of the plant cells is what makes the rosmarinic acid start to release and become available to be absorbed by the oil. Take a small glass jar, the kind we use for sauces or dressings, and place 2 sprigs of that crushed rosemary inside. Then add 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, It's important that it be extra virgin because it has a higher concentration of its own antioxidants that boost the effect of the rosemary. Refined or second extraction oil won't give you the same results. Now place that jar in a double boiler. Put a small pot with water on the stove over very low heat, almost off, and set the jar inside. 15 minutes of that gentle warmth is enough. The low heat serves two functions. The first is to help the rosemary release its active compounds into the oil more efficiently. The second is to evaporate any remaining moisture that may have been left on the leaves, which protects the life of the oil. After the 15 minutes, turn off the heat and let the jar cool completely before touching it. When it's cool, strain it with a fine strainer or a clean cloth to remove all the leaves so the oil comes out clean and transparent. And here comes the golden trick, the one that makes all the difference. Since we used fresh rosemary and not dried, this oil must be stored in the refrigerator, not in the kitchen drawer, not in the bathroom, in the refrigerator. This has two important reasons. The first is that the cold preserves the oil and prevents it from oxidizing quickly. The second is that melasma hates cold. Inflamed skin reacts very well to cool contact, and that temperature contrast, when you apply the cold oil onto the warm skin of your face, will close the pores instantly, calm the inflammation, and boost the absorption of the rosmarinic acid into the dermis. Every night, before sleeping, with your face clean and dry, take only 2 little drops of that cold oil from the refrigerator and massage it gently with your fingertips over the areas where you have the spots. Make small, gentle circles for 1 minute, that's all. You don't need any more. With those 2 little drops, it's enough for the active compound to penetrate throughout the night while you sleep. And now, the golden rule, the one you cannot break under any circumstance. This treatment is strictly nighttime. You apply the oil when you go to bed and sleep with it on your face. But the next morning, as soon as you get up, the first thing you must do before anything else is wash your face with your usual facial soap and apply your sunscreen. Rosemary does not replace sunscreen, ever. The oil residue must not stay on your skin during the day because it can react with sunlight and have the opposite effect to the one you're looking for. So remember, at night, the oil, in the morning, the sunscreen, no exceptions. And so, night after night, week after week, you're going to see the change. The first thing most people notice is that the spots stop darkening. That happens in the first few weeks. Then toward the end of the first month, you start to see the edges of the spot becoming less defined, as if it were blurring outward. And with the passing of the following weeks, the center of the spot begins to lighten as well. It's a gradual, progressive process, but one that genuinely moves forward, because you're attacking the origin of the problem, not just the surface. I want you to understand something very important before you finish watching this video. Melasma did not appear overnight. In most cases, it has been settled in your skin for months, years, even decades. There is no treatment in the world, not the most expensive nor the most aggressive, that erases it overnight. Any product that promises you immediate results is lying to you. What exists is consistency. What exists is a treatment that works with your skin instead of attacking it, and that over time gives real, lasting results. Many people who turn to very aggressive treatments end up with skin so damaged, so thinned, and so sensitive that the spots come back with more intensity than before as soon as they stop the treatment. That happens because they destroyed the natural barrier that protects your face. And when that barrier is destroyed, the sun, the heat, the stress, and pollution penetrate more easily and activate melanin production faster. This path is different. It's gentle. It's respectful of your skin. It doesn't destroy it. It nourishes it. It doesn't attack it. It protects it. And most importantly, it's something you can prepare yourself at home with a plant you probably already have, without spending on costly treatments that often end up doing more harm than good. Your skin has carried many years of sun, of hormonal changes, of stress, and of aggressive treatments. It deserves for you to finally give it something that truly cares for it. And this rosemary oil can be that first step, that gesture of love toward your own face that marks the beginning of a real change. So now tell me in the comments if you have rosemary at home and if you're going to prepare it today. What city are you watching us from? It makes me so happy to know where all the people who watch us come from. And if you know someone, a friend, a sister, your mom, or your neighbor, who has spent years dealing with melasma without finding a solution that truly works, share this video with her right now. This might be exactly what she was looking for. A big hug, take good care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.